Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, in the news we got some footage now of the storm, that ship, the Norwegian ship from Hurtigruten that got caught in the storm. It actually got hit by a wave. Apparently they're calling it a rogue wave that hit the ship that knocked out all its navigation and its power. And wait till you see the impact of it was pretty amazing. We also have a couple that's just getting off the Mardi Gras saying that they booked a suite and they had to deal with soaking wet carpets the whole time on their cruise, and they were in a suite. We also have a story, a tragic story about somebody who deviated apparently a little bit on an excursion and ended up in a tragic accident. So in our first story, when I covered it yesterday, we didn't know a whole lot about the incident other than that a cruise ship about 200 miles off the coast of Denmark lost power, lost its navigation, and it ended up having to get rescued and towed back into Germany. Everybody apparently on board is safe, no severe injuries. There were some minor injuries on board, a lot of seasickness on board from people as they got into the storm. And here in this video you can see the ship rocking back and forth, and you can see how strong those waves are for this size of ship. Remember, this is one of those ships that are expedition ships, right? Meant to go into smaller areas, get up close to the action, and well, they get up a little too close to the action, and you can see that large wave when it hits the boat. Absolutely, just you could feel the power of the ocean in that case, and wow, no wonder that the ship got tossed around and lost its navigation and power when you feel the force of that kind of a wave. Now, the good news is though, again, they're back in port, no serious injuries from that cruise. Next, we have a very tragic story of a shore excursion gone wrong in Cozumel. One of the excursions is an ATV off-roading experience that's conducted with a tour guide. Normally what you do is you follow around, they'll bring you up onto a track and you do a circle around the track and make sure that everyone can handle the vehicle and they're safe on the vehicle, and then they head off into rougher terrain. You go through some water, you go through some woods and stuff like that. And usually when people choose this kind of a trek, they're a little bit experienced with these kind of vehicles, like a dune buggy or an ATV or a motorcycle. And I'm not sure if that was the case in this situation, but apparently the gentleman, they were on this one stretch of the course and he veered a little bit off the trail that they were all on. Normally you follow each other in a line, and he went into more of a rougher area and he rolled the ATV. Now they said he quickly stood up after that, but then he fainted and collapsed. And as medics and everything arrived, unfortunately he was pronounced dead on the scene. And it's just one of those warnings out there that it's all fun and games until something happens, unfortunately. And I've done ATVing many, many times. Sometimes it's on the streets when we're driving around. I've done the back road ATVs. I just did it last year in Jamaica, twice when we were down there, 2 different areas. And we really open those things up. They can go really, really fast. And in fact, on one of the excursions when we were there, the woman directly in front of me, ran off and smashed right into a big huge rock that was there. Now luckily she wasn't hurt and she was slowing down enough that when she hit it, nothing happened. She didn't flip or anything, but she lost control of the vehicle and hit right in front of me. So it is something that if you're going on any of these kind of when you're in control of a vehicle, whether it be a car, a motorcycle, a scooter, anything, if you're in control of it, you don't want to go beyond your limits, and it seems like a lot of fun ripping down there in these ATVs, and unfortunately in this case the gentleman hit something that caused it to roll, and unfortunately ended up tragically. So condolences to the friends and families of this cruiser, and it's a warning to us all to be very careful out there when we're on these excursions. You know, you got to be careful whether you're walking on the sidewalk and of other vehicles, whether you're renting a scooter, whether you're ATVing, whether you're kayaking, whether you're tubing. You got to be aware and keep an eye on what you're doing at all times. Again, condolences to the family out there. Next, I have a story of Carnival passengers who said they paid $6,000 for an upgraded suite on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and when they stepped foot on the ship, their carpets were soaking wet. Apparently there was a flood on board from the weather, and their suite was, and a few other rooms, cabins on board, also had the same instances, the hallway and everything. And they said it never really dried out for the entire 7 days they were on there. They posted a couple of videos on TikTok where you can hear them, and as they're walking, you can actually hear them sloshing the sounds from the carpet. And you can see the water kind of squirt up around their shoes a little bit. They were offered onboard credits. Not sure how many. They didn't really state how many. But in a case like this, they said in their cabin between 8 and 10 hours a day they were running the fans to try and dry out the cabin. So not only was there a musty smell and a damp, odory smell, wet carpets, that they had to wear shoes everywhere they went. They didn't want to spend any time in their own cabin even though they had a suite. They had the fans blowing all the time, so they couldn't even go back and have a nap because that was in their room. And then they were offered some onboard credit. Now, to Carnival's defense, they said they have reached out to the couple to try and come up with a resolution to this problem, and hopefully maybe they're going to get some future cruise credits, maybe a reimbursement, or hey, sorry that happened, come back on the Mardi Gras, we'll put you in the same cabin again. That kind of thing. Hopefully that's one of the experiences that we hear in the future happen, because I can't imagine spending a ton of money to get an upgraded cabin. We're going to spoil ourselves, we're going to get a suite and everything, and then it's soaking wet and sloshing around, and it smells and it stinks, and you're on a brand new ship. That should never happen, right? If you go on an older ship and the hallway has a little bit of an odor to it or something, sometimes you have to live with that because it's an older ship, an older design, you live with it. But if you're on like the Mardi Gras, their second newest ship, you would think that everything would still be pristine, and especially if you've upgraded to a suite. I don't think onboard credits quite cut it as some compensation for that. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and also, can you imagine being on that small ship when that wave hit that ship? Pretty crazy stuff. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.